Hey, everybody, welcome to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Thanks for being here. Remember to subscribe and like and comment on this channel. We thank everybody who subscribed to this point. Josh Allen news is out today. The Bills signing him to a 6-year extension of his contract. The numbers are big. You knew they were going to be big, right? Adam Schefter, ESPN, reporting over $150 million guaranteed. The deal for 6 years. Paying him the average of in the 40s, $45 million a year. It's a contract the Bills wanted to get done. Allen wanted to get done. And it was interesting that Brandon Beane sort of set that deadline. Look, we want to get this done before the season starts. That was still leaving them some serious room to get it done. But there was never a doubt, I don't think, on either side that a contract would happen between the two. If you got to that deadline and they did not, then does it add something to it? Are there questions about it all year? Yes. So that is out of the way now. The reality is the Bills drafted themselves a franchise quarterback, and today they proved that when they paid him. That's what you want, right? When you have that deal, you have that opportunity to get a guy, something the Bills have been looking to do for the past 2+ decades, right? To find that guy that is worth paying the big money to. We're not talking about Rob Johnson, who they traded for, gave him money, and was a failure. We're not talking about the short time span when Doug Flutie was the quarterback, or when they traded for Drew Bledsoe, or what they hoped Ryan Fitzpatrick or Tyrod Taylor could eventually become. No, we're talking about drafting the guy, developing the guy, and then paying the guy. And Josh Allen earned this. Now, of course, in the real world, no one deserves the amount of money. This is not the real world, folks. This is the NFL. And that's what quarterbacks, franchise quarterbacks, get paid. Josh Allen outperformed his rookie deal. There's no doubt. You draft a guy in the top 10, you hope this is what he becomes. But as we've seen, that doesn't always happen. I mean, think back to 2018. I was down in Dallas with Jenna Cottrell for that draft, and Josh was, our impression, the guy they wanted, right? We talked to him that day. We talked to Josh Rosen. We talked to Lamar Jackson, right? These guys were all going to be picked, And what did it end up being, that it ended up being that Josh was the 7th overall pick that year after Baker went number 1 and Lamar went at the end of the first round. And look at those three now, right? Those three quarterbacks obviously have been the best of this class, but there's little doubt at the moment. I shouldn't say that. That's being a little unfair to Lamar Jackson. There's no doubt, certainly in Buffalo Bills fans' mind, that they got the number 1 guy. And they matched up in the playoffs, and the Bills won. Lamar's been really good, especially where they got him. And it could be a big year for Baker Mayfield, but that's not who we're talking about today. We're talking about Josh Allen. So he gets the contract, gets it done. He can take a breath. Now, here's the reality. It does change the dynamic for this team. This team has been all rowing together, all being together. The players on this team love and respect Josh Allen. That's just the way it goes because they know he's a worker. They know he's come through for them. It does change the dynamic a little bit now. I mean, he's making more money than you'd have to add it up, but I'm going to guess you could take per team per year, 25 plus guys don't add up to his salary for one season. That's the way it goes in the NFL. He got paid. He's the quarterback. They know that. But they do respect him. They respect his work ethic. They respect what he did last year. It adds a level of pressure, though, because while Josh has been great, there have been some moments. I mean, we're nitpicking now because he's a guy who just got a 6-year extension, $150 million guaranteed. He was good in the playoffs, really good in the Colts game, not so great in the Baltimore game, and everybody had a rough day against Kansas City. Well, that's the baseline now for him. I'm not saying every year you got to make the AFC Championship game, but, he was an MVP candidate. He's got to now be to live up to this. And I'll say this, top 5 to top 10 quarterback every year. That's what he has to be for them. It's hard to say a guy's going to be, top 3, top 5 every year. That's what you hope for, right? That's what they have hoped for. But he's got to follow up what he did last year. He was phenomenal last year. I mean, he was right there at the top to be an MVP, and it was close, right? So he became that guy for this franchise, and now he gets paid, and that's going to be the conversation with this team. But it's not like they did it too early. It's not like they did it too late. I think they came up with this deal at the right time. Does it change the salary cap? Absolutely. Right? Do you want to get everything done before you pay your quarterback like Seattle did with Russell Wilson, who was not a first round draft pick? Sure. That's great if you can. The Chiefs did with Mahomes. Then they paid him. But this is the way it's worked out for the Bills. AFC Championship game, Josh MVP candidate, finalist to get there, and now he gets paid. So we're going to have plenty more on this. I know Bills fans are excited. Don't worry about the pressure part of it. That comes, right? That comes with everybody in the NFL. But your franchise has a guy who in the NFL earned the right to get this kind of deal. The Bills were happy to pay him. Would they want to pay him less? Well, sure, because then it's more money to spend on other players. But think about your franchise that hasn't had a guy worthy of this since the Jim Kelly days. And now you have a guy that absolutely Bills fans are saying, we had to get this done, and they got it done. Remember, for all of your Bills coverage, you head right here to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Jenna Cottrell and I will be on later today to talk more about what this means to the current roster and what this means going forward for Josh Allen and the franchise. But Josh Allen, contract extension, Buffalo Bills franchise quarterback. Remember to subscribe, to like, to comment, and thanks for being here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.